Welcome back, everyone, to this edition of Try Hard Trucking with me, RollKCV, where I continue to do the best I can with what I've got, which is not a lot of talent, but a whole lot of success. Well, maybe not a lot of success, but some success. I was able to somehow get across that icy thing with a whole lot of safety winches and what have you, but I got across there. Not a way I would recommend necessarily to get across here, but I had to get to this spot. In the future, I went through all the trouble of clearing up this road, and this road is quite dangerous. I would not recommend going on this road anymore. So, a lot of good it did me. I'm better off coming down here, going along this ice. Along this ice. Along this ice. Along this ice. Along this ice, along this ice, along this ice. See, this is the way I used to have to go. And then, you know, there's a road there, there's a road there. I can go along this ice and double back and get any place I want. Come along here. It's a lot farther way to go, but this is a ridiculous road to go on. So I may not go on this road again, except I'm going to have to continue on to go where... No, actually, I'm not going to have to continue on. I just go back to the garage. Get refueled. Figure out what else I'm going to do. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do, though, is verify... Have I visited all the fuel places? No. I still need to get to there somehow. That's back at the... That's back near the waypoint. So I can recover something and then come there just to unlock that trailer. And now tasks. What tasks? Actually, I do want to go there. Put a marker. A keepsake. Do I have a keepsake? I have a keepsake. Okay. Lost trailer. I have lost trailer on here. Okay. Nighttime delivery. That is also near near the yes, I do have it on my list though. Also near the gateway. Everything for the pictogram. Whoops. I did this out of order. No, everything for the 19 delivery, everything for the pictogram. Okay. Do I have that on my list? I do. Okay. I want to make sure I find all the trailers and I found all the tasks. Aftermath of the hurricane. Pretty sure I have that. Yes. New pool. New pool. That's also by the gateway. I think. Why am I not seeing the gateway? Maybe that's not by the gateway. Where's the gateway now? No, the gateway's here. That's not by the gateway. Okay. Do I have it on my list of tasks? I do. Old scrap metal. Old scrap metal. I've got it. Troublesome menu. Troublesome motor. Troublesome motor. I've got it. Oh, I hope I have all of these. Old lighthouse. That might be one I don't have. Because it's near the other thing. I do not have old lighthouse. Okay, so that's another one I need to get. Floating change house. Floating change house. Riddle of geology. I do not have riddle. Oh, I do have riddle of geology. Good. It's a tough one to get to. Floating change house, I did already. Forecast for tomorrow. Guessing that's another one I need. Yes. Oh, did I subtract and still gonna add? Okay. And what one did I delete? Was it this trailer I deleted? Small Scout flatbed. Yeah, okay. I want to add that. I accidentally deleted it. I got so close I deleted it. Which you can't, it's almost next to impossible to delete things when you want to delete them. Okay, forecast for tomorrow was the other one I added. Lost trailer. Then I have lost trailer. I have lost trailer. Dirty business. Got that. Engine troubles. And engine troubles. Okay, so the only things I need to get now are... Only things I need to scout, back to the map, are these three things. And these three things actually are in order. I don't know how I didn't get Old Lighthouse. And they're actually easier to get from the other location. The other alternative is to come down here, around here. I can't get across there. I don't think I can get across there. It looks like maybe I could. But we're not going to do that. We're going to leave those markers there as they are. And we're going to take this baby. Whoops. We're going to take this baby. And restore him, recover him to the garage. Yes. Now, what else? Do I have anything here that's missing? Yes. In storage. Well, it may not be in storage. Where is it? In storage, I only have the new trucks. No. Wait. No. Yes, I only have the new trucks in trailer, which I haven't tested yet. So somewhere on one of these maps is, okay, this is the Brigadier. Where is the Brigadier, and would it be a good truck to get over there? And these things are ghosted out because they've already been delivered. I can't sell them. It is in the garage, apparently. Yeah, the Brigadier is there. Oh, I didn't need to do that. It showed me and I hit the button twice. Now I gotta wait for the thing to load. Okay. The Brigadier is probably not the truck to get across there. But the Brigadier would be a good truck to bring over to the new location. So I'm going to be going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So let's bring the Brigadier. Let's put in storage this. Now we will go to the global map. We will move to this garage. there is some definite huge mounds of snow that I need to get to those things on the new map. And on this map, you gotta ride the ice, and it's hard to get through, and there's places you gotta crackle through the ice. It's also not a good place, easy place to get to for the Brigadier. So, oops, wrong buttons. So we are gonna come here, and we are. Did I not put the Brigadier in storage? Did I forget to put it in storage? I didn't put it in storage. Anyway, this one is going in storage, and I hit X to retain. That's what I didn't do right. Now I have to go back to the global map once again. Load this once again. This entire episode is going to be me loading screens. It's not loading off an external drive anymore. I moved everything to my internal drive, but it's an older Xbox. It doesn't have like an SSD, so it's moving a little bit faster, but not as fast as it could be. In fact, my new external drive might be faster than the drive that comes with this, but my old external drive crashed. Okay, now, X to retain this. Now in truck storage, I'm going to bring out the Zix. And since I'm going to change scenes when I drive anyway, I have to remember to pull this out when I get there. But I'm not going to pull it out. I'm not going to go there now and pull out the Brigadier, because that would be changing scenes even more than I need to. So, this one, I'll leave the crane and I'll leave the flatbed. Doesn't really matter. I like the other bed better, but I'll leave the flatbed. Now, on this map, I need to get to that waypoint. And I can get rid of... I actually can't get rid of this task. Places of military glory. Oh, it's stop tracking. Actually, I might accidentally go over it. I know nothing's here, so. Alright. So, through bitter hard experience, I've learned the best way of getting there, which is sad that I can't use the map to do that, but I can go this way, I can go this way, I can go down and get to here. There might be some crackly ice to get there. If I have to, I can go around here to get to the crackly ice sooner, but I shouldn't need to. And this is a long way, which is why I was very happy to open up that garage on the other side. It's a long way, but it's a lot easier to get to than to try to get there from the other map. So I may end up doing this a lot. Although obviously taking goods can't be done by recovering the truck. But again, on this map, if you see obstructions, like you see ice slabs, you see rocks, you know that the ice is okay there to travel on. It's not going to crackle out from under you. Although, you see some of these things are pretty narrow, so it may be possible that you're going to hit areas. Here, that's not good stuff. Here, I don't remember if that's okay or not. be some dangers there. Going up there, kind of doing this from memory. So let's actually put one here. So sight of where I'm going. The best way to go is actually through the swamp until I get to there. And there's a bridge that I fixed, but to try to get to the bridge is harder than to get here. And to get across the bridge, the gateway is harder than to just go along the river. So I'm hoping this is the last time I have to do this, but I'm guessing that it's not. I should look to see what those tasks need. And if they need anything from this map, I can bring it on my way. Although, I'm not going in a direction that would go to any warehouses. But then I wouldn't have to do this again. They may not be available on the new map. And I should also check to see if there's any, if there are any, this is such a pain. If there are any contracts that require goods from this map to that map, and where do they get delivered on that map? Now this is the tricky part, because going up this is not a good way to go, I've discovered. Best way to go is to stay along here. And now you can get to this rock. And it's dicey, but you can get over to here and stay along these trees. I don't know where to there maybe, and get to these trees. Maybe I just stay to the right. I think I just stay to the right the whole way. Delete it, please. Well, there are trees there. I think I do have to come here now that I've said all that. And then come back around here. No, not that one. Oh, it's such a pain in the behind. This is mostly swampy area. I think I can actually stay in the swamp area. It looks worse than it is. There is crackly ice, but it's not too deep. And it is drivable. In this vehicle, at least. Something like this. Okay, which is horrific. But that's the path. Now, let me look on the other map. See what those tasks are. Which means going here again. Oh, I don't have to actually load it. Oh, I may have to load it. Like, for example, does this trailer, scout fuel carrier, have to be taken somewhere? Fuel carrier, so it's probably not. Forecast tomorrow. Oh, I don't know where it goes because it's not on my list. That's right. None of these are on my list. I won't be able to tell. I'm going there just to find out. Okay. So much for that. So I'll just go through the tasks that are here. Anything that ends up there. No, not good enough. Strategic reserve drops off there. Needs logs, which logs come from here. Oh, that's going to be a real pain. We're waiting on that. Long logs times 3 too. Oh boy, I don't have 3 trucks that can carry long logs. On the moon. And here's medium logs, and I bet I can't get medium logs here either. No. Okay. I gotcha. This is going to take way over 100 episodes. And this is just visit places here. I don't have to bring any goods from anywhere. Star in the sky. I have to deliver... the wide flatbed semi-trailer from here to the airport, which is there. Where? Get me oriented here. Where's the? Okay, there's that. So that doesn't involve coming from this gateway. And that's it for those. These Forgotten Civilization, there's only one, and it's just a bunch of monoliths I need to visit. Okay, so I'm fine. I do have things to bring over from here, but that's like logs, which the only way to get logs is over here, so I have to navigate a completely different way. So we are going to do this navigation now as it is, and the fuel is going to be tricky, but there is a scout fuel carrier right near there. So. I could have actually taken fuel with me in the back of this thing instead of a flatbed, but I should be fine just to get there and unlock those things. And then if they involve taking something from near there, I've got a scout trailer there to bring that fuel. Should have cut in front of that pole, but I'm okay. These are all mow downable trees. I will mow them down because that's the kind of mood I'm in. Vroom. Look out, squirrels! I'm coming. I was out walking yesterday, and I saw somebody walking their cat outside, and I thought that is the most perfect thing to do. I had 2 cats until recently, and the first one I tried to take outside, and he was young, on a leash, and he completely freaked out, pulled away from me. He almost dislocated one of his legs, or maybe all of his legs, so I ended up letting him go. He ran off not too far away and just hid there, so I walked up to him and I just carried him inside, and after that he had no interest in going outside on the leash, so he was just completely an indoor cat. And the other one never had any kind of interest in being outside at all. So they were both indoor cats. But some cats, if they like the outside, you feel like you want them to be outside, taking them around on a harness is really the best way of doing it. It's the safest thing for them. It's the safest thing for the birds, the songbirds, which, well, what did I see? 1 billion birds a year, 1 billion songbirds a year are killed by cats, something like that. They're one of the most prolific predators. But if you don't care about the birds in your neighborhood, it's still a lot safer for the cats. In fact, it's don't feel like you have to take the cats outside either. Most cats are perfectly fine being indoor cats as long as you keep things, their curiosity up. So you have to keep like toys and things and a cat tree. So you need to give them places to climb, and you want to keep them mentally entertained. So bring new toys in all the time. Let them play with the boxes, because they'll have no interest in the toys. And if you can get 2 of them, that also helps. As long as they're fairly young. You know, don't have an old cat and bring in a kitten that doesn't understand. There's no reason not to. And this is something you see in U.S. cities and in Japanese cities where people have indoor cats. Most places in the world, they think cats just belong outside. But they don't have to go outside. You can say they belong outside if you don't want to like clean their litter box or something, but that's on you, buddy. They're perfectly fine being outside, being indoor cats. But if you do want to take them out in a harness. So yes, I actually, it's not a Minnesota thing to do, but I actually went up to the people and I said, way to go. I'm glad to see some people are good, responsible cat owners. And they like smiled and said, yeah, something like that. And walked on with one of the old man. Why is this guy talking to us? I don't know. Nobody talks to anybody here in Minnesota. Yeah, I know. Maybe he's not from around here. It's not true. People in Minnesota are very nice. I was not born here, but moved here early on, so most of my life has been spent here. But they're famous for being pleasant, but not really welcoming. So they're polite, but not welcoming. You've heard of Minnesota nice. There was a phrase going around for a while, Minnesota ice, because a lot of, I remember reading an article in one of the local weeklies or something. Minnesota, there was a boom in the Twin Cities for information systems technology, and so lots of young professional IT type programmers and administrator types were flocking to Minnesota because there were lots of jobs here. And yet they had a hard time getting adjusted because everyone was nice to them and pleasant, but nobody wanted to like go to happy hour with them or do social things or whatever. They had a hard time actually making friends. As a lot of the people in Minnesota traditionally, they make their friends when they're in grade school, and those are the friends that they keep for their life, and they don't have a hard time making friends after that point. But I know here in the Twin Cities, I don't know what it's like in other parts of the state. It may be the same, but here in the Twin Cities, the that big push that came in like the late 80s, early 90s, probably early 90s. That brought a lot more cosmopolitan demographic to the area, and that very much changed the dynamic of the social vibe of the Twin Cities area. Like I said, I can't speak to other areas. Other cities, probably like Duluth or other urban areas, probably the same way. But yes, it really changed the social vibe of the area such that, and this is exactly what I can get across. Yeah, so it's now, in the Twin Cities especially, a very multicultural area, all kinds of food from all over, etc., etc., so. In particular, Minneapolis, but also in St. Paul and also in the suburbs. Yeah, very multicultural, because like I said, a lot of the IT jobs weren't in Minneapolis. They were in the suburbs. I think Minneapolis proper has always been fairly multicultural, but because of the great IT migration to the Twin Cities, that has spread out to the suburbs, and then other people then are attracted to those areas, because as the suburbs go up, there's more housing available, there's more opportunities for other professions besides just IT. And Northwest Airlines is also based here, and there's a lot of pilots and stuff and their families, and they need jobs and stuff. It's changed over the days since it was the city of flour. City, transportation hub and food processing, flour, Land O'Lakes butter. Land O'Lakes is Minnesota, in case you couldn't tell from the name. So it's a pretty resilient area in terms of economy. At least has been. Yeah, because of all that, housing bill has attracted a lot of people. And people get freaked out about, oh, you'll never move to Minnesota because it's so cold. And I won't lie to you, in the wintertime it does get pretty cold compared to other places in the country. But, it's survivable. Almost nobody ever freezes to death during the winter. You only hear about maybe 1,000 or so. No, obviously not 1,000 people. Almost nobody freezes to death. Yeah, but probably more people in a year die from heat exhaustion than die from exposure. Because it also gets very warm here in Minnesota. Minneapolis is right on the 45th parallel, which is halfway between the equator and the North Pole. Plus, Minnesota is almost in the geometric center of North America as well. It's actually one state over in North Dakota. So there's no ocean currents that help. We're way far away from any ocean. So you get the most extreme weather here. The difference between average low temperature and average high temperature is pretty extreme. And then, you know, record high temperatures and record low temperatures are commensurately even more extreme. It will get in degrees freedom, otherwise known as green Fahrenheit. It will get over 100 here at least a few times a year, and it won't get below 0 here at least a few times a year. So, and that's air temperature. That's not, you know, wind chill. Wind chill is kind of a scam, actually. The body is not made of glass. Wind chill was developed by people putting water out in glass beakers and checking to see how long it takes it to freeze over, and like calculating wind chill that way. But people aren't made of glass. Glass has a much higher heat index than people. Even people with skin and fat underneath it. So what you really want to do is you take like the air temperature and then the difference in wind chill and cut that in half. So if like the temperature is 20, but the wind chill is minus 20, well, that's a difference of 40. Cut that in half, that's 20. Subtract 20 from the air temperature 20, it's actually like 0. And taking account of the wind. If you talk to actual real people that study the atmosphere, they would tell you wind chill is inaccurate in the extreme. But if you talk to like people that are on TV talking about how cold it is, they're never going to change the wind chill calculation, because it's good for them to say, oh my goodness, it's minus 40 out there, wind chill. It doesn't usually get minus 40 wind chill. But yes, like I said, it does get over 100. It gets sunny. It's very humid, so whatever the heat index is, which includes humidity, I use air temperature plus half my little index, which I call the oven index. I use the air temperature in degrees freedom plus half the relative humidity percentage. And if you add those together and it gets over 100 or up to 100, then it's too hot for the oven, because the air conditioner can't keep up at that point. And the humidity matters, but it's not, you know, the whole humidity, just half the percentage. So those are my rules of thumb. Take it from someone who's lived in Minnesota most of their life but wasn't born here. I should know. All right, now let's make it daylight. Actually, let's not make it daylight until I'm ready to lay down these things. Now, I can't go through here, but that's a mess. Or I can't go through here, but that's a mess. They're both messes. Which is less of a mess? There are supposedly things to get you across here, but I think they're crooked. Whereas this, I think that's icy there, which is a mess. So, I don't know. I haven't been here in a long time, but I'm going to take the wider mess. I know this is incredibly deep snow, but in this vehicle, that means nothing. I do have snow, aka mud tires, on this vehicle. Not ice, aka chain tires. Now there's a rock there, so I don't know what's the best way to get across here, if it's there or if it's on the other one, because I have to turn at that rock. But there's a rock here as well. I think it's probably going to be best to just go right through that last one. And it just so happens that these line up in order. Wasn't my intention. Okay. Oh! Dingalingle! Who's the dingalingling? Coaster! Raiding with a party! Thank you for the raid, brother! I will, let's see. I can give you a shout out this way. Maybe. Can I tap that? No, I have to tap your name. I think. Yes. Okay, I can give you an official Twitch shout out. Did that go through? I don't think that went through. Shout out user. Yeah, that doesn't always work. The other way to do it is to just use a bot. Yeah. I knew I could do it somewhere. There's some way to actually give a Twitch shout out. And I thought I had it. But it doesn't look like it's working. Yeah, it just says shout out user. I tap on that and nothing happens. It's registering the tap. Oh well. What do you play? What have you been playing? Roadcraft? You've been playing Roadcraft? Oh my goodness. You've been playing it with anime? It's all good? Oh, now what happened? I've watched people play Roadcraft. It looks a lot more interesting than Expeditions, which I don't think a lot of people were interested in Expeditions, to be honest. It went on sale really fast. Why did that mark it there? I'll say Roadcraft does look like a good game. It does not look like SnowRunner, though. It doesn't look like any kind of, upgrade to SnowRunner, replacement for SnowRunner. From looking at it, it looks more like a farm simulator type of game. Have you ever played Farm Simulator? She won't play anything like SnowRunner and Roadcraft. Yeah. I know, but you do get to drive things. You just don't get to drive them fast. Does she play like driving games? I know how much she loves to drive around in the combat games. Yes, you have a logging operation going. Okay, yeah, it seems to me like it's more of a farming simulator game than a SnowRunner game. But again, I've just watched some people play. I don't plan on getting Roadcraft anytime soon. Maybe not until I even finish my SnowRunner playthrough, and that's going to be several years, so it may be a while. But from what I've seen, it does look fun. It looks like something it looks like it plays like Farming Simulator, but something that I might be more interested in than actually Farming Simulator. It has a niche, for sure. It has a niche in the market. I hope, though, that it doesn't keep them from continuing support for SnowRunner, because it is not a replacement for SnowRunner. And I'm still holding out hope that they do a year 5 pack, add 4 more seasons. Mostly because right now we have 19 seasons, or will have 19 seasons once the last one is released for year 4. If they do a year 5 pack, then there'll be 23 seasons. And as we all know, 23 is the best 2-digit number in the world. Am I doing this? I can try it. Okay, maybe we don't all know that, but everyone should know that 23 is the best 2-digit number. Yeah, I think straight water is better. Hang on a second. She played Need for Speed Heat with us for a while. I feel like is a spot you get truck and you can fix and like the thing you like is if you get in a spot, you get stuck, you can fix, unlike SnowRunner. It was being held back by the operation system was made for last gen tech. Yeah, well, that's okay. That doesn't mean they can't add more seasons to it. I'm not expecting them to upgrade the technology of it, but it's like a cash cow for them. So I'm hoping that they add more seasons to it, more regions to it. But maybe they won't. I can live with it, but I would prefer another season, another year, 4 more seasons. And I think there's a lot of people that would pay for it. Would make more sense to do a SnowRunner 2? Again, I don't know. SnowRunner is a cash cow. Maybe they don't do a SnowRunner 2 until they stop making money for little effort. A SnowRunner 2 would cost as much to develop as Roadcraft, and Roadcraft is so far an unproven, an unproven success. I think it will be a success in the market. I think they will make things for SnowRunner or for Roadcraft, but they can whip out in 3 months. They can whip out a region for SnowRunner if they took some resources and put it on. I know the resources have been gone into something else for a while, but they were whipping out regions every 3 months in SnowRunner, and they were selling good, and they're still selling good. So I just think from a business perspective, it would be good for them, and certainly it would be good for all the SnowRunner fans that are out there. Nice time in there, Iceman. I got an idea. Back in the day, there used to be a lighthouse around these parts before people left, so I'm thinking of bringing it back online. Can you check if there's a way to reach it? Sure, I can do that. Not a lot of money, but sure, I can do that. Let's see what that actually gives me. Maybe it's something around here. Let's see. In general, I'm not a big sequel guy. I'm a big, if something is still working, add more to it guy. I don't buy sequels when they come out. I don't buy sequels until they're at least a year old. Because, for 2 reasons. One, all that sequels usually give you is, like, better graphics and stuff, which I don't care about. The graphics are fine. I could play with Atari 2600 graphics and I'd have just as much fun. I'm an older guy, so I don't care. Better graphics also often comes with worse performance. So you're forced to get a new computer when a sequel comes out, or a new console when a sequel comes out. And I don't like to be forced to get new material. And so, you know, I'm not a big sequel guy. I like to play older games. And sequels also are very often more difficult. Which one did I just get? Which one did I just get? I don't remember. So, I mean, I have a different attitude than most people. Old Lighthouse. Okay. Old Lighthouse. Let's see. What's involved? Okay. It's just visiting that. So it's a scout, but it's across the street, so it's nothing I'm interested in. If I could fix the roads in SnowRunner like I can in Roadcraft. The only thing I would like added in SnowRunner is I don't care about fixing the roads. That's more of, like I said, a farming simulator kind of task, which I think I would like. I'm not saying I don't wouldn't like Roadcraft. I think I would like Roadcraft. The only thing I wish you could add is your own custom tacks to the map. And I didn't even think I needed that until I got to this region. And then I found out that a lot of these things that are marked as roads were roads like on a 20-year-old MapQuest map, and they're no longer passable. And so if I could put a tack on the map that says, don't go here, that would be a nice thing. That's like the only feature I can think of that I would really be interested in having in SnowRunner. So, or even the broken bridges should be able to fix them. Well, that's kind of part of the game. There are tasks to fix the bridges if the level is designed so that you are allowed to fix the bridge, right? I mean, I'm not arguing that SnowRunner is a better game than Roadcraft. I don't know enough about Roadcraft to make that judgment. What I'm arguing is just that SnowRunner is still a very viable game, even though Roadcraft has come out. I don't think that suddenly makes SnowRunner not a viable game, economically or play-wise. It's the same thing with Civilization 7. Civilization 7 is out, and I'm still playing Civilization 6, and I will keep playing Civilization 6 probably until Civilization has 50 civilizations like Civilization 6 has. I don't play Age of Empires 4 was out for a long time. Age of Empires 4 did not sell at all because it's Age of Empires 2, but instead of having 50 civilizations, it only has 12 civilizations, and it has wonderful 3D graphics, but unless you've upgraded your graphics card in your computer, you can't even play a 4v4 game. If you're playing on an old Xbox, for example, you're lucky to play 2v2 because the graphics bog you down. And the pros were paid to play Civilization AoE 4. They were paid to do it by Microsoft got Red Bull. And guess what? When the tournament was over, nobody played AoE 4 anymore. They all just played AoE 2 because AoE 2 had more civilizations and was easier to play and more conductive to a professional game. So, let's see. Some, not all of them, bridges. Not saying one is better, just thinking. Just things I would like in SnowRunner, yeah. I think the days of adding features to SnowRunner are probably over. I do think there are things that would be nice to be added in SnowRunner. I agree with that. I might choose different things than you would choose, but I think adding features in SnowRunner would be good. I don't think that's going to happen. I think those days are over. I think adding new trucks, adding new DLC, and hopefully adding new seasons is still viable. But, and adding new mods, those aren't even developed by them. But, Yeah, I don't think adding new features is ever going to happen. I would like to see some, but I don't think that's going to happen. I've given up on that. Let's see. Our weather sensors are acting up. They fell flat. They flat out refuse to transmit data. Iceman. Everyone calls me Iceman here. I don't understand. Can you go and manually collect their measurements? Yeah, sure. Oh, 11,000. That's not bad. Buckaroonies for just a scouting map. Which task was this? I'm getting all worked up. I gotta find all these things and then take a break. Forecast for tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Forecast for tomorrow. You get me talking about games, I can't stop. I've loved games ever since my Odyssey 2 when I got to play Pong at home. Again, someplace far away. And I have to visit lots of them. And none of them were on the way to anywhere, so I don't have to worry about that. So the only thing I have to get to next is this one trailer, which I think I actually already found. Yeah, oh no, Scout Fuel Carrier. I have to get to that. Okay. So I'm pretty close to that. Where's it? Where's the Scout Fuel Carrier? It's right there. That is not a Scout Fuel Carrier. What are you talking about? I found this trailer already. No, new trailer discovered. Small Scout. Oh, Scout Flatbed. Why did I thought it said Fuel Carrier? Oh. Okay. Well, I'm at 57 minutes, so I gotta get a fast exit out of this YouTube episode. Twitch, stick around. Especially you, Costa. We'll continue this conversation. But those of you on Twitch, I'll be just taking a quick break. If you're watching on YouTube, though, that's going to be it for this YouTube episode. The next episode will be the next weekday at noon, U.S. Central Time, which is 1800 hours, 6 p.m. in the UK, and 0600 hours the next day in New Zealand. Once again, Twitch, stick around, YouTube, next episode. Either way, thank you for watching, and I will see you then.